Proud I am of you. Man, I tell you, I've been watching all year, and the season that you guys have had. I'm really the football guys and all the girls. I appreciate it. It's always great to see the girls here. And I appreciate to see Coach Yale here. He's really helped out, and FCA, and Coach Z and Coach Meager. But just really proud of you guys, the way you hung in there and fought, and you're right there. You know, you're right. You kind of peaked, just hit it just right. So I thought I'd break the ice and tell you a couple of Plano Wildcat stories because I was here for 27 years. The first story I was going to tell you, 1986. But you know what? Let me preface this by saying that football and all sports is always a struggle. You've heard about all the tradition and all that stuff at Plano, win all the state championships and everything, and they're true. They did happen, but it didn't come without a fight, without a struggle. There were always tough times along the way. It wasn't just like we just won every game all the time. In 1986, I was an assistant coach, pretty young. I'd been on the varsity 2 or 3 years, and we didn't make playoffs in 1985. And back in those days, if you didn't make playoffs, man, it fires all. And it was tough. And we started off the season in 1986. We're 2-2. We lost a first district game, and we go over here and we're playing Newman Smith over here at Standard Stadium, and they went 0-10 that year. They didn't even sniff winning a game, and they had us down 14-0. I'm telling you, it was bleak. And Coach Kimbrough, y'all know who Coach Kimbrough is, he called timeout. And he's got everybody together. He got all the coaches, the players together, and he goes, I'm telling you guys, if we're going to run counter dive and tight end low, and if you guys don't take this ball, go down and score and do something, you all just ought to hang your head and go home. And we all just looked at each other and just like, yes, sir. We won 29 straight games after that. We won the state championship in 1986. And in 1987, we ran the table with 16-0, but every game was tough. That year we won 16-0. Every game was like 21-17. We didn't really blow anybody out. We also ran the table on JV. We won, I think it was 46 straight games varsity JV. Incredible. It was great times, but it came with a fight. In 1994, which is 20 years ago this year, we went 7-3, just like you guys. Our last 2 games, Lake Highlands, we were rocking along there. We thought we were pretty good, I guess. Lake Highlands beat us out here at Clark Stadium 28-7. Embarrassed us. Golly, we were embarrassed. The next week we played Plano East. It rained so hard that night you literally could not see the field. You could not see the other sideline. I'm athletic director now. I would not let anybody play it wasn't like that now. I'd stop the game. But it was raining so hard and lightning. We just kept playing. And they beat us 28-7. We had 2 touchdowns called back. I was so mad at the end of the game. But we got on the bus. We were 7-3. And we were playing Mesquite High School, who was the number 1 team in the state. They'd already beaten us earlier in the season. And everybody knew that, we played them on 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday at Clark Stadium, by the way. It's a Saturday game. So there's so many coincidences this weekend. We threw everything at the kitchen sink, man. Talking about, little razzle-dazzle. We were so ready to play. They kicked off, and we had this little guy named Greg Smith. He weighed 145 pounds, but he could run about 4 or 5.40. And he kicked it about 7 yards deep in the end zone. He brought it out, ran it back for a touchdown. We won. We go all the way to the state championship game, and I wanted to put the names on the back of the jersey. Are we putting the names on the back of the jerseys, Coach? Yes, sir. I want to put the names on the back of the jersey. I wanted to do it the year before, but I didn't have the connections. I just didn't know how to do it. So we did it, but I was too scared to tell Coach Kimbrough. He was AD. I was too scared to tell him about it. And so, man, he finds out about Wednesday that we did it. And again, I thought he was going to fire me for the state championship game. I thought I was going to get fired. I'm serious. I'm scared. So we go out. We're playing Katy, Texas. Katy Tigers, Texas A&M. And but the middle, we're playing great. Probably the best game I ever played when I was coach. And we were just dominating the game. Middle of the 4th quarter, these 2 guys, Brandon Kaysen and Nathan Hale, they come up to me and say, "Coach, got to go to the bathroom. We got to go to the bathroom." I said, "Well, you guys can't go to the bathroom. It's state championship games on TV." "Oh, Coach, got to go to the bathroom." I said, "All right, go." So they go in the bathroom, and they walk in the door. And they're in full pads, And these guys are in our locker room going through everybody's stuff, stealing their wallets and stuff. So Hale and Katie, "What are you doing?" These 2 guys, they take off out the door. And in those days, the press box was over on this side, and it's on live television. And all the newspaper guys are up in the press box, and they're looking over our locker room. We were the visiting team. These two guys run out of the locker room, and these two guys, full pads, helmets, everything, chasing them down the street at College Station. And everybody up there is watching this chase. Well, Hale, this is an unbelievable story, isn't it? But it really did happen. Kaysen and Hale, they catch them, and they go, they've got this and got that. And they go, hey, we got to get back. Coach Merritt's going to kill us. They get back, and they're back on the sideline. So the game's over, and we won the game 28-7, by the way. And here's the newspaper guy, the TV guys. We just won state championship, and I'm worried about these names on the back of the jersey. I said, what about these guys chasing these two bandits down the street? What's going on? I said, what are you guys talking about? Nobody said anything about the names on the back of the jerseys. That's one tradition in Plano I'm really proud of, because I thought I had a personal, Plano deal about, but I had that little bit of individuality, put the names on the back. It's important. I think you deserve it. I just got a few things I want to talk about. I want to tell you about 8400 Clearview Court, where I live. I'm athletic director now, and I've got to be neutral, and I am neutral. And I've grown to love the Panthers and the Wolves, and I might hurt you guys a little bit. I take a lot of grief for it. But there's nobody else at 8400 Clearview Court that looks at it that way. I'll tell you that. My wife and my 3 kids, they are Plano Wildcats. They grew up in this very room. All 3 of my kids, Coach McCullough's kids, literally grew up in this room, in that locker room, on that field, in that indoor facility, in that coach's office. That's where I raised my family. And that's why this place is so important. That's why this game tomorrow is so important. Okay? That's just the way it is. The Wildcats represent class and discipline and dignity. That's what the Plano Wildcats have always represented. It has never been one of those deals where we just won every single game and everything came so easy. We had to work for everything that we've ever gotten here. When I say class, I'm talking about little things like having your helmet on and running out on the field. And when you're running off the field, yes sir, no sir, looking the coach in the eye, not talking trash. When the game is over, going over there and congratulating that other team. Going back to that school song. I see that now when I'm AD, when the game is over, and that band. You want to get the crowd in the game more. Get the band behind you. You want to get the crowd going more. Get the band behind you. You get them into the game, the crowd will get in the game. But after that game, get over there to that band and respect that student body that came there to support you. Don't worry about the ones that are not there tomorrow. Worry about the ones that are there tomorrow. I don't care if it's just a handful of people. Of course, it'll be a lot of people, but I don't care who it is. The ones that are there are the ones that count. But the Wildcats are about discipline. They're about hard work. They're about execution. That's how it's done. I wrote this book called 70-30 Split, and I always have to tell people what it means, because I believe that in athletics, like this game tomorrow, okay? Denton Guyer's good, man. We know that, right? They're good. They're physical. It's 70% tomorrow physical. Who's going to be the toughest? Who's going to be the fastest? Big, strong. Who's got the best players? It's going to be 30% about the plan, the coaches. What the plan's going to be. In the middle between the 30 and the 70 is going to be the execution of that plan. So as the game starts, we kick off tomorrow at 11 o'clock. As the game moves on, that 30% down here, that's the plan. Okay, right? And the 70%, that's you guys physically. Well, guess what happens? It does this. It's half the plan, and it's half the players. You've got to execute the plan. In football, soccer, basketball, it's all about execution. So, like tomorrow, I know you're going to be up. I mean, you're almost, how can you not be up for the game tomorrow? But you got to be poised. You got to be cool. You got to be able to execute. You guys all know what holding is. Don't hold. You know what late hits are. Don't late hit. Jumping off sides. You got to be poised. You've got to do the things that the coach has been working on all week long. Now, will mistakes be made? Absolutely, but it's going to come down to who makes the fewer mistakes. It's going to be a long game. You know that, all that. want to talk about my faith. I believe we're over at FCA. By the way, you know that we have an adult chapter here in Plano at 6:30 over at Jason's Deli right in front of Collin Creek Mall on the access road. We have the adult chapter. So coaches and adults, a lot of them are not coaches. People just come. You're all welcome. We'd love to have you. As you get older and you graduate from high school, you know we'll be there every Friday morning. We'll be there for you if you want. If you're looking for a vehicle like that, we're there. We welcome you there. We'd love to have you. You're welcome. But we talk about prayer a lot. Me, you know, we read a little passage out of you know, they have a deal here like a little diary. Today it was about prayer. We go around the room. Everybody gets a comment. Coach Clark, who was the coach before Coach Kimbrough, everybody just had their views about prayer. You know, Coach Clark today, he says, just important that you touch base with God every single day and reaffirm to Him that you're a believer. You know, that I'm here. I'm seeking guidance. I'm seeking your help. So important. I struggle with prayer. I struggle with my word and being in Scripture, just like everybody else. I'm sure you relate to that. But if you'll just make the effort, it really comes pretty easy. Because me, I believe in the 24-hour prayer. I believe I'm in prayer all the time. I live in prayer. But I also believe in a certain time and specific prayer. You know, the old-fashioned way. I believe in corporate prayer, group prayer, like we're going to do here today. You know, this meeting. It's very important. It's pretty simple for me. You got to seek the Lord, ask for His, you know, to come into your heart, and then you gotta believe. You gotta live it. Trust your instincts. That's how God talks to you. Well, if I believe anything, I believe that. That's how I live my life. I'm certainly not perfect. I make mistakes all the time, but that's my story. A couple other things. How important FCA is. This is important. That you guys all got the community, corporate. We all get together like this. It is so important. If it's FCA or if it's Student Venture or it's another type of group, the main one though is church. You know, as we get on, as our culture moves on, people don't go to church like they used to. Our preacher, I go to church over here at Christ United Methodist, right here on Coit and Parker. And Don Underwood, our preacher's one of my heroes. I love that guy. He's one of the best speakers. And he gets up in front of the congregation. He says, the rest of my life, my mission is to defend the church. Defend Sunday morning people getting up and taking their family to church, because church is a lot more than just going and sitting in a building and sitting to a service. Church is family. Church is getting up and being at your best. Church is worship. Church is praise. Church is prayer. Church is important. It's very important. That's the advice I can give any young couple when they get married. Get together on church. What denomination that you want to, and get together and get your family in a church. It's the best advice I can give you. Let's talk about tomorrow real quick. Coach McCullough, I'm sure he's talked about this, but you know what may be the key to the game tomorrow? Is who gets up and gets a good breakfast and eats and is focused, and at kickoff tomorrow, you got to hit them before they hit you. You got to be more physical than they are. That's a good chance that's going to be. Well, I've been in this breakfast bowl many times. I know all about it. I've been on both sides of it, win and lose. We have a big deal with me and my family. Call it Big Fridays, because everybody knows how important the FCA deal is to me. You know, so I'll talk around this. Big Friday. You know, Big Friday, we start off, get up at 5:30, and I try to be the first one there. There's a lot of power about being the first one in the room. You know, you got a big meeting, big deal going on, and you're kind of on edge. Be the first person in the room. It gives you power. Gives you some calm. Okay? I always like to be the first person there. I lead. Most of the time I lead it, but from there on Big Friday, I don't leave a stone unturned. You know, if my wife's been on me about taking some clothes to the cleaners, for example, or I need to go to the bank, or I need to do this, or I need to do this, I do it on Big Friday. I don't put anything off on Big Friday. I clean up all details on Big Friday, because Big Friday ends with Friday Night Football. Well, tomorrow is Big Saturday. Okay? Big Saturday. What I encourage you to do is, man, get up, take a shower, and you be at your best tomorrow. Because tomorrow, it's not going to be the most important day of your life. Because you're going to have days down the road that are going to be much more important than tomorrow. But you know what? It's going to be one of them. When you think back on it, it will be one of them. And if you're at your absolute best tomorrow, I'm going to give it everything I've got tomorrow. And yeah, you know what? It doesn't go our way. It doesn't go our way. There's nothing wrong with it. I used to talk about that. I always think that it's good. Hey, if the games don't go our way, it's not going to be the end of the world. I think it takes pressure off the kids, because sometimes you go in these games, got to win, got to win, got to win, got to win. Well, what if it doesn't? What if we don't win? It's not going to be the end of the world. It's athletics, but it is important. Tomorrow is important. It's a big deal because what tomorrow may kick off. Going back to that 1994 game, when we were down and out, nobody really thought we could do it. We won that first one. Boom, 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 boom. Momentum can be done. All right. I want to wish you the best tomorrow. Another thing, be positive all day long. No matter what happens tomorrow, be positive. Even when we got the game, something goes wrong, get a bad call, turnover, whatever, be positive. Be positive, be positive, be positive, because being negative doesn't help anybody. Coaches might get on you a little bit. They're just coaching hard, but inside your team, and if you do that if you do that every day, it's positive. You say, I'm going to have a policy today that I'm not going to be negative about anything. I'm just going to be positive. It'd be funny how the momentum will carry you on that, get you going. I wrote this prayer for you guys. Okay? So I'll close in this prayer. I'm going to give it to Brooks here. You can have it, all right? Join me in prayer. Thank you for the opportunity today.